Okay, today in our booklet we are up to measurement, which should be a good topic because it's the most recent one that we've done. So I hope this will be a nice easy one to go through today. Are you ready? So first question. State whether the following are true or false. The hours of sleep a person has in one night would be best measured in meters. True or false? False. Thank you, Shian. False. It says out. Oh. It says hours of sleep and we're measuring it in meters. That makes no sense. No. Okay. Question on the next page. Actually, that one there. Okay, that's right. So complete the following metric conversions. Have a look. The page numbers on here, well, it says 29 there, but it will be on the section, so it may not work out properly anyway. We had a conversion diagram that would be on your study sheets. And I hope makes it to your final exam study sheet. So it's divided by 10, 100, 1000, and then timesing when you go the other direction. Please remember the arrows, because without the arrows, you don't know which way you're going. So if I'm going from millimeters to centimeters, so I'm here at millimeters to get to centimeters, I need to divide by 10. So put in here, you can put a divide by 10 on that, but we only really need the answer. That would be 30 centimeters. Smazzy. Maybe later. Question 4. Complete the following more conversions. This time we're going from millimeters to meters. So I did this one because it's two jumps. I have to divide by 10 and then also divide by 100. So divide 10, divide 100. And what do we get? Oh, I put 1,000 on that, sorry. Get rid of one of those zeros. We get 56. 56 meters. Okay, so that's why that diagram is very, very helpful. So question 5 is doing a similar thing. Question 6, arranging things in descending order. We did ascending in your test from smallest to largest. So descending means from largest to smallest. Question 7, we did some of these in your test as well. Subtract the second length from the first, giving your answer in the smallest unit. So out of kilometers and meters, meters is the smaller unit, which means I need to change this one into meters as well. To change into meters, you will times it by 1,000, which is 4,100. Then I need to subtract the second measurement, because it said to subtract, and I can do that 4100. I don't need the calculator for this, but anyway, 300 meters. You need to make sure you include the units because it tells me that you've converted them correctly. All right, next page. A Christmas tree is 2.06 meters high. A star which is 55 millimeters is placed on top of the tree. Find the total height in centimeters. Neither of those measurements are in centimeters, so I'm going to have to convert both of them. For the 2.06, I'm going to have to times that by 100, which is 206 centimeters. For the 55 millimeters, I'm going to have to divide that by 10, so that would be equal to 5.5. Okay, now I need to add those two heights together. So our tree is 206, and then the star on top is an extra 5.5. So that makes 211.5 centimeters for the total height of the tree with the star. Okay, all right. Some more wordy questions. I thought I'd do a harder perimeter one. I'd leave the easier one for you. On your test, this happened a bit. I was surprised actually. you have to make sure that you don't miss any of the sides when you're doing perimeter. So we had a shape that was similar to this one, and there was 2 missing sides, just like this one. Make sure you find both of them. So if I look at this horizontal side here, it would be equal to 19 plus 11, the other horizontal ones added together, which is a total of 30 millimeters. Okay, then to find this vertical one, I'm going to add the 15 and the 17, which makes 32. Okay, and remember I suggested that you write them on there because it tells me straight away when I look at that, I know whether you worked them all out and I know which one's missing if one of them's not written on there. Okay, so P for perimeter equals, start at the top and add as we go around. 30 plus 32 plus 11 plus 17 plus 19 plus 15. Has anyone added that up for me already? Yeah, what'd you get? 124. Thank you. Maybe just wait next time, please, Shian. 124 millimeters. Okay, that's another perimeter question, so I'll leave that one for you. That one's very, is that even, might even be the same one as the one on your test. It's very similar anyway. You had to make sure that they're in centimeters first, okay? So some of those are in millimeters, so you'll have to change some of those first. So that's still perimeter, and then we start on area. For these ones, you won't do any of these ones in your exam because we don't really count areas anymore, but you're counting the number of boxes. We do area like these ones. Okay, so you have the area formulas that should be on your sheet. If you look at that first shape, it's a rectangle. I'm just trying, is that 16.8? You don't have that. Okay. So it's a rectangle which has the formula A equals BH. Now I'm just trying to read that number. 16.8. Okay, so I'll be timesing 19.2 times 16.8, and then we do it in our calculator, and we get 322.56. When it's area, these need to be millimeters squared. Okay, so B is also a rectangle, so you use the same formula and the same 3 lines of working out. Okay, next one. This is a composite shape. And again, I chose this one because it was similar to one of the ones on the test that caused a few problems for people. You could divide this up into 3 shapes, which is fine, but I think it's easier to do 2 shapes and subtract the rectangle in here that's been cut out of the big rectangle. Okay, so I'm going to call shape number 1 the big rectangle around the outside, and shape number 2 is going to be that little rectangle in there. So number 1, it's a rectangle, A equals BH. The base and the height of that rectangle. The height is the 50, that whole way there. The base across here, I have 12 plus 8 plus 8, which makes 28. So it's going to be 28 for the base and 50 for the height. So 1,400. I'm not going to put the units on there yet. I'll save that for the final answer. Shape number 2 is also a rectangle. So A equals BH. The base and the height of this little rectangle is 25. Good. 25 and 12 or 12 and 25, doesn't matter the order. So that's 300. Now when you do the total, you have to remember that you're subtracting. So 1,400 minus the 300 makes 1,100, and I need to remember the centimeters squared now for my final answer. Okay, so it's composite shapes. Everyone got that one? Okay, a wordy question there, but it's just area of a rectangle. So even though it's wordy, just look through. It's just saying find the area of a rectangle. It has a height of 2.3 and a width of 1.8. So our next shape is a triangle. The formula for a triangle is A equals half BH because it's half of a rectangle. The base and the height are the two sides connected by the right angle. So I think that's 685. Oops, wait. Need the half first. Times 685 times the height, which is, oh, wait a second. It says 7.3, but 7.3 what? Meters. If this is in meters and this is in centimeters, I can't do them different. So let's change that to be, yes, that one there is 730 centimeters. If you changed the, you could have changed that one into meters and you would have had an answer in meters squared. That would also be okay. So 0.5 times 685 times 730 is a very big number. Centimeters squared. Question B is probably not the best diagram, but this is a dotted line here. Okay, it looks a bit like a rectangle because of that dotted line, but the height is still a triangle. The base and the height are the 13 and the 128, but I'll leave that one for you to do. So there's another rectangle, another triangle. So we've gone through that. Here is some more composite shapes. So I'm going to do the second one again. This time, why don't we do it by addition? So I'm going to chop the shape down there to make a rectangle and a triangle. So shape number 1, shape number 2. Shape number 1, rectangle, is A equals BH. What is the base and the height? And I do need to be careful here. Millimeters, centimeters. So let's change this one to be 90 millimeters so that everything's in millimeters. Okay? All right, so back to my rectangle. What's my base and my height? Yes, good. Not this one because that 364 goes all the way out to here. It goes past the end, right? So it's going to be 90 times the 290. Is 26100. Okay, shape number 2 is a triangle. So it's A equals half BH. What is the base and the height? Well, the 90 that's here, it would be the same there. That would be 90 there as well. But the trickiest part is finding this bit. Okay, I don't want that whole measurement because it comes all the way over here. I only want this little bit in here. How do I find it? Yeah, what does that equal? Good. All right, so that little part there is 74. And then we can multiply. We have half times 74 times the 90 height. Which is 3,330. A lot of threes in that. And then we need to find our total. Total by adding this time because they're sitting next to each other. So 29430 millimeters squared. Yeah? Okay. All right, so more rectangles, another triangle, easy, easy, easy. We know how to do that. Okay, in this section, there is time. Now, it wasn't in the last test that we did, but we did do time as a very little topic. Was it the end of term 2? Term 1. It was right at the beginning of the year somewhere. It was just a little topic, term 1, was it? It was a little topic that we did in like a week because it was just on time and we did time zones as well. The measurement section, yes. Yes, this is part. So this is coming in as measurement as well because we are measuring time in minutes and seconds, so on. Okay, so time does fall under the measurement umbrella. So to convert between 138 minutes and we want it to become hours and minutes. How many hours are there, or how many minutes, sorry, are there in an hour? 60. So we're going to divide that by 60, which is 318 divided by 60. So it's 2.3. It's 2 hours and what? Ooh, how did you get the 18? Yeah, good. That's one way of doing it. Very good. So the calculator told me the 2 hours, but the 0.3, don't ever think that's 3 minutes or 30 minutes, because time works in lots of 60. That's kind of a base 10 number, that 0.3, okay? So if you do it like Ziggy, 2 hours is 120 minutes, which means there's an extra 18 minutes there. However, if you are using your calculator, there is a special button you can push. Does anyone remember where it is? Yeah, Rihanna. Yes, I call it the bubble button, that's right. If you push that, there it is. It does 2 hours, 18 minutes, and the next number would have been seconds, but there wasn't any. Okay, so 2 hours, 18 minutes. So it's called the degrees, minutes, seconds button. That's its proper name, but it just looks like a bubble. Just its nickname is the bubble button, but it's the degrees, minutes, seconds button. Okay, let's do the next one. 2 days and 8 hours, but we're going into, remember, hours and minutes. Well, there's not going to be any minutes because we don't have anything that small. This is already in hours. I need to know what 2 days is in hours. How many hours in one day? 24. So if I times that 2 by 24, that will give me 48 hours, plus the extra 8 hours gives me 56 hours in total. Okay? Question 22. Find the difference between the following times. Okay, so you can do this by counting up. So I can go 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30, 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30. All right, so that's 9 hours to get to 11:30. And then I would need an extra 16 minutes. Can you use the bubble button though? So if you wanted to check that, start with the big number. You go 11 hours and 46 minutes, and then go minus 2 hours and 30 minutes. Oh, I forgot the bubble. We'll go back. Minutes equals, there it is, 9 hours and 16. But be careful. If you are using the bubble button, it's okay if they're both AM times, but if one's an AM and one's a PM time, it won't work unless, if you turn it to 24-hour time, then they will work. Okay, and that way you can always use your bubble button. All right, this should be, we didn't even do a test on this, but I hope you all know how to tell the time on an analog clock. No? The little hand points to the hours, so the little hand is a little bit past the 3, so it's going to be 3 something, and then the big hand tells us the minutes, so from the 12 o'clock, 5, 10, 15, and then maybe 2 more minutes past there, so 17 I think I would call that, 3:17. We don't know if it's AM or PM because it's a 12-hour clock, but 3:17, okay? Question 24, find the following times. I want 2 hours and 5 minutes after 3:10 p.m. Again, you could use your bubble button for this. I'll show you that in a second. But if I just want to add 2 hours onto the 3 hours here, so it's 3 or 5, it's going to be 5, and add the 5 minutes onto the 10, so it's 5:15 p.m. Okay, if you're using the bubble button, we're starting at 3 hours and 10 minutes, and I want to add on 2 hours and 5 minutes, and there's my 5:15. I just have to make sure I put PM on that. Question 25. Write the following in 24-hour time. If the time is an AM time, then the 3 is the number of hours. We do put a 0 in front of it though, because there should be 2 digits for the hours. So 03, and the minutes 14. So 0314, you just get rid of the dots No AM or PM. Okay, so it's 24-hour time. But if it is a PM time, you need to add 12 to the 5. So 5 plus 12 is 17, and then the 57 minutes stays there. So it's 17:57. Yeah? No dots. Question 26 is going in reverse. These are in 24-hour time, and I want to go back to 12-hour time. So again, you look at the first two numbers. If they are 12 or less, okay, then you just take those first two numbers. So this one is, it's 10. So it'll be 10.56. And because it was less than 12, sorry, it is an AM time. It means it's in the morning. Whereas this one, because I've gone over 12 now, it's going to be in the afternoon. So I want to subtract 12 from the 14, which gives me 2:35 PM. So going backwards, I had to put the dot back in, and I had to decide whether it was AM or PM time. Question 27. Find the time difference between these ones. So 0600 and 12:06. Should we do it with the bubble button? Or you could do it without. It's a pretty easy one, isn't it? Can you do it without? That's a good one. What's the answer? How many hours is it? 6 hours and 6 minutes. Okay, you're just counting from 6 up to 12, so that's 6 hours, and then the extra 6 minutes. If you're using it on your bubble button, you're doing it as a subtraction. You would do 12 bubble button, 6 bubble button, minus 6 bubble button equals. And you should get the same thing. Maybe we'll use the bubble button for the next one because it's a little bit harder. So we'll do 16 and 42, and then minus 15 and 43 equals. So it's all of 59 minutes, which kind of makes sense because it's 1 minute less than an hour past there. Question 28. Convert the following to seconds. Well, we've got some hours and some minutes. Let's put it all into minutes first. So the 2 hours, I would times that by 60. 2 times 60 is 120 plus the 4 makes 124 minutes. But I still have to change that to seconds. How do I change it to seconds? Times by 60. So 124 times 60 is 7,440 seconds. All right, we're off time. We're back to capacity now. So the milliliters, liters, kiloliters, what do they all work in? Lots of 1,000. So converting between these, they'll all be thousands. Going from a smaller unit to a bigger unit, you're dividing. And from bigger to smaller, you're timesing. Actually, do I need anything bigger than that? No, I got them all. All right. So I want to go from milliliters to liters. Milliliters to liters, you divide by 1,000, which is equal to 4 liters. That's it. So some of them you might have, do we have any 2 jumps in there? Yep, this one will be a 2 jump. But using that diagram. Question 30, this is another arranging in order from smallest to largest. Just make sure they're all in the same type of unit first. So you only have milliliters and liters. I've got 3 liters ones though, so maybe change the 2 that are milliliters into liters so that you can put them into order. Question 31, grams and milligrams. These also work in thousands. So how do I go from grams to milligrams? Yes, which is 300, and then I add 3 more zeros, grams. Do you need me to draw a diagram for that one as well? Do you know that one? No? Milligrams, grams, kilograms, tons, but they're all thousands again. Yeah. Milligram. Yeah, it's there. Okay, so there's the diagram in case you needed it. Question 32, we're changing from 120,000 milligrams to kilograms. So that's two jumps. From milligrams, it'll divide by 1,000, divide by 1,000 again. So divide 1,000, divide another 1,000. Is that the same as dividing by 2,000? No. Good. Thank you. All right, so that will be 0.12 kilograms. All right, that is it for today.